Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs is a presentation of Kentucky Proud.
This time on Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs.
This is one of my favorite places in Lexington.
It's awesome.
We're going out for steaks and seafood at Carsons.
Whipped truffle butter.
And we're going into the kitchen to get the secrets to some of their most popular entrees.
It's actually a work of art.
Kentucky Proud all the way.
We'll also check out Decca in Louisville, where an old building is now on the cutting edge of the farm-to-table movement.
Really delicious, all sorts of flavors.
And a trip down the urban bourbon trail leads us to top-notch traditional Kentucky barbecue.
I haven't had much any better anywhere else.
It's time to get cooking on Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs. I'm Tim Laird on a culinary tour of Kentucky, and have we found some good eats this time?
I'm in Lexington at Carsons, where it's rustic Kentucky elegance all the way.
The first thing you notice here is your surroundings.
What draws me in is the atmosphere.
It's kind of a come-as-you-are place.
It's the vision of longtime restaurateur Mark Fitchner.
When I began the concept, I wrote Ralph Lauren walks into an old barn. I wanted it to be elegant, yet I wanted it to be casual.
Reclaimed wood from barns and bourbon barrels lines the walls.
All the wood that you see across all the walls and the bar top and everything, that's all wood from my ex-mother and father-in-law's thoroughbred farm, Sierra Farm. And then we have two barn doors inside that are from Dixiana Farm, built around 1930.
Here, you can come as you are for a burger and beer, or go big with a steak.
I've never had a bad meal here.
The menu presents a lot of tough decisions. It all looks too good not to order.
That's the best stew I've ever eaten in my life.
Our big seller right now, sandwich-wise, is our prime rib sandwich.
The salmon is as fresh as you'll find it.
I love it.
Or do you go with the sushi-grade ahi tuna?
I love the ahi poke. I think that our ribs are second to none.
We also have our beer cheeseburger that everybody loves. It comes with a house-made beer cheese and a fine shaved pork belly that goes on top of it with a sriracha bourbon barbecue that we make.
Wow. And look how they do scallops here.
Scallops is one of the big sellers on our seafood side of it.
They're literally stacked with flavor.
And what I love, you're going to show us the secrets of how you do them right here at Carsons.
Definitely will. You have to have a smoking hot pan to get a good sear on your scallops. About a half tablespoon to a tablespoon of olive oil in it.
So, Chef, here's the scallops. These look absolutely gorgeous.
These are U10 bay scallops. We get these from Bluefin.
Okay, very good. You know they're going to be fresh and delicious, and I'll tell you what, that's the color you want them to be.
If you get your pan hot enough and you have the nice right oil in it, you'll get that nice caramelization to the top of it, and it'll be beautiful when it comes out of your kitchen. In a pan about this heat, you're looking probably about 2.5 to 3 minutes to get a good nice sear on it. Then once we get our good sear on it, what we do is we transfer it back to our melted whipped truffle butter back here to add more of the flavor that we're looking for to it.
Now that sounds good. Melted truffle butter.
Oh, it's great.
And you can put that on the steaks, scallops,
everything. Yes.
Toast.
Yes. Everything tastes better with it.
That's great. All right, that's the color you're looking for in texture, that beautiful caramelization on those scallops.
Take it on and we'll transfer it to our whipped truffle butter.
Oh, so that gets a good dunk in there. I mean,
oh yes.
It's all warm and buttery good.
Exactly.
That's great.
And the scallops are just part of the dish. Wait until you see what else the chef has in store.
These are smoked Weisenberger grit cakes, and we freeze them, break them out. We dip them in egg yolk and then ground up panko breadcrumbs to coat it. Then we refreeze it. We deep fry it at 350 till it's golden brown, bring it up, and then it goes on a bed of our béarnaise sauce.
And if that's not enough, how about some slow-cooked and seared pork belly?
It takes us about 3 days total to make our...
Truly handcrafted and Kentucky proud all the way. That's a lot of labor of love that goes into that pork belly.
Now he's ready to put it all on the plate, starting with the béarnaise sauce and those golden grit cakes. Then the pork belly.
1/2 of this goes on each one of your grit cakes. And then we get our scallops out of our whipped truffle butter.
Absolutely gorgeous. You've got the surf and turf all on one dish.
So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take some frisée and we're going to put a small bunch in the middle of all of our scallops. Next we're going to put a house-made cilantro lime vinaigrette just on the frisée. And then next we take our tomato confit. It's just heirloom tomatoes with fresh rosemary and fresh thyme. and we put it on top of each one of the scallops.
That's beautiful.
And we're going to take truffle oil and just drizzle it on top of each one of your scallops.
You got to be proud of this. Actually, Kentucky proud all the way. That is absolutely beautiful. Thanks, Chef.
You're welcome.
Coming up, I'm going to take you into the kitchen at Carson's for a Creole filet.
This is a true culinary treasure.
X marks the spot for my fork, that is.
And stick around for a trip into the kitchen at Decca in Louisville. Chef Annie Petrie reveals secrets to a salad that's as colorful as it is Kentucky proud. It's all ahead on Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs.
Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs is a presentation of Kentucky Proud.
Nicely done, beef. You make it acceptable for men to use the word tender. A protein like no other. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Tim Laird here, excited to be with you again at Carson's Food and Drink in Lexington.
Here, there's no dress code. You're comfortable whether you're in your shorts or dressed up.
The menu follows the same principle. You can grab a burger and a beer, maybe some light bites and a salad, or indulge in an elegant entree like seared scallops, salmon, or steak, served with your choice of around 100 bourbons.
We have all kinds of different bourbons.
Carson's is particularly big on Woodford Reserve, especially Woodford Rye.
We sell more Woodford Rye than pretty much any other restaurant in the world.
The reason for that might be this: the most popular cocktail at Carson's, the Woodford Rye Old Fashioned. If you like bourbon like I do, you've got to try this one. And then there's the Bloody Mary.
The Bloody Mary is what pulled me here to start with.
You'd be hard-pressed to find a better one anywhere. The same goes for the steak.
All right, I'm back in the kitchen at Carson's with Executive Chef Larry Hunter. What are we going to cook first, Chef?
It's an 8-ounce tenderloin filet. Comes with a Cajun Creole sauce around it, Weisenberger smoked Gouda grits with it, blistered tomatoes, and we finish it off with a whipped truffle butter and shrimp.
The chef gets started with the steak, 8 ounces of hand-cut tastiness.
So we're going to salt and pepper it. There we go, and we'll let it sear for a little bit.
And I know that that's a hot top there, so you're going to get some good caramelization on that as well.
Exactly. What we're going to do is we're going to just cover it with one of our pans and let it sear on this, so that way it'll take all the heat from it and just contain it.
Oh, cool. Now there's a great secret.
It helps you reduce the cook time on it, and that way you're not pushing all that flavor of the juice out of it. It's naturally cooking, and it reduces the amount of time that it has to stay back.
What a great technique. I love that.
While the beef continues to cook, we whip up some shrimp, sauteed with whipped truffle butter.
And I didn't think butter could get any better, but you made it better.
It's definitely better. 2 butterflied shrimp to it.
Gorgeous. They're certainly loving that truffle butter bath.
Oh, yes.
When the shrimp are done, Chef Larry uses the same pan to saute some local heirloom cherry tomatoes.
Same pan, it still has a little flavor of that shrimp and the
Exactly.
truffle butter. Now you just want to get those a quick sear.
Right there she does.
Check out the presentation. The plate begins with a mound of Kentucky Proud smoked Gouda grits. Then Carson's Cajun cream sauce all around it. The tomatoes top that.
Perfectly cooked filet right on top of those beautiful Kentucky Proud grits. Looking good. Look at that.
We'll take some more of our Cajun cream sauce and ladle it over the center of our steak.
Oh.
The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our sauteed shrimp, put it on a skewer. It's going to be stood right up in the center of your filet. Then we're going to take some fine sliced chives and take it around the plate. And then we take our whipped truffle butter. We do a small stack on top of it next to the shrimp. The finishing touch is we take 2 large chives and stand it up inside the whipped truffle butter. And that's our plate.
You get the filet, you get the shrimp, you get the blistered tomatoes, that beautiful Creole sauce, And of course, we can't forget about those grits. That's a dish, Chef. That looks absolutely fabulous. This has got to be another big seller here at Carson's.
It definitely is.
Oh, I can see why. It's actually a work of art, I've got to say. I love Carson's. If you like big flavors and a big bourbon bar, this is the place to be.
And don't go anywhere because we have more secrets to come. Next, a restaurant rooted in the past that's dedicated to the future of Kentucky farmers. Plus, we'll dig into barbecue on the Urban Bourbon Trail.
Some of the best food you can get around.
We've been told we got the best in the world.
Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs is a presentation of Kentucky Proud, with support from the Kentucky Beef Council. In Kentucky, beef is still what's for dinner. PNC Bank, for the achiever in you.
Hi everybody, Kevin Harned with you again for another edition of Secrets. This time we're in the Nulu district of Louisville along East Market Street. It's amid the finest art galleries in town, the hottest social scene, and if you like it fresh and local, you'll like it here at Decca. Step inside this restored building that dates back to the 1870s and see what's old is new again.
I am so impressed with everything they have done with this facility.
I think it looks beautiful. The amount of work that's been done is gorgeous.
You're greeted by antiques and a bartender with a handlebar mustache. Yet Decca feels very contemporary at the same time. There are 3 different levels here at Decca, 2 intimate dining rooms, each with soaring ceilings. Downstairs, the lower level offers an entirely different atmosphere. It's a large, cozy lounge with original brick and stone on the floor and walls. And if that's not enough, there's a huge outdoor area too, both upstairs and down.
We try to be very fresh and as local as possible. Not too complicated, comforting and simple, but still fresh.
Chef Annie Petrie turns farm fresh food into masterpieces. She comes to Louisville from North Carolina via New York and San Francisco.
Yeah, I just kind of followed my nose and my heart around the country. When I was in San Francisco, I had been in restaurants a long time, and I decided that I wanted to go all the way and go to culinary school. Went to the FCI in Soho and lived the New York life for a little while.
Then it was back to North Carolina to be near family.
That's where I kind of developed more of like a love for seasonal food and developing a relationship with farmers.
With her love for fresh, seasonal food, Chef Annie has hit pay dirt in the Bluegrass, enjoying all the treasures of our local farmers.
We actually use a lot of Kentucky Proud ingredients. They're delicious, by the way. The least amount of distance that something has to travel generally means you're getting it fresher when it's actually at its being picked at its peak. If you start with a product that tastes great already, then you can't really mess it up after that. Today we're going to make our spring lettuces salad, and most everything in it is local. We have some local lettuces, and they're just baby lettuces and flowers. They're really delicious, all sorts of flavors. There's little fennel flavors and some bitter green, some floral, delicious edible flowers. And we have a walnut vinaigrette. We're going to dress the bowl, not the lettuce. That way I can make sure that the salt is being dissolved in the dressing and not coating the leaves and making it sandy. And also I can control the amount of vinaigrette that's getting on the leaves so it won't be overdressed. So now I'm going to drag my fingers through the dressing and then through the salad greens to coat lightly. And then always taste. Make sure it doesn't need any more salt and it's good. So next we're going to put some goat cheese. And this is the Capriole goat cheese, so again a local product. And I'm just going to smear it onto the plate using the back of the spoon. So that way your guests can enjoy as much goat cheese as they would like. They can kind of control how much they get in every bite. And then here we have some walnuts that have been macerated in red wine vinegar and honey. And the vinegar that the walnuts have been soaking in is used for the walnut vinaigrette that we dress the salad with. And I'm going to take some local strawberries. I'm just going to spread those along the plate and then take the lettuce, kind of ball it up gently with my fingers so that it can lay nicely on the plate. I'm going to put a little bit more dressing just around it, just to accent the plate. And that's it. Very simple, seasonal salad.
Sensational flavors indeed. Thank you for the secret, Chef Annie.
Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs is a presentation of Kentucky Proud, with support from the Kentucky Beef Council. In Kentucky, beef is still what's for dinner. PNC Bank, for the achiever in you.
Nicely done, beef. You might be the only meat with a knife named after you. A protein like no other. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Tim Laird with you again on Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs. Right now, we followed our nose along Louisville's urban bourbon trail, and we discovered a real gem for barbecue lovers.
I'm at Check's Barbecue and Blues, and I love it here. They have so much great food to offering. Of course, when in the name it says barbecue, you know you got to do some barbecue. And I'm with John and Stephanie here. Stephanie, do you have any of the favorites that your customers love out of all these different selections?
All of these are favorite.
These are all the customer favorites. Check this nachos out. This is more than just your regular nachos. I mean, tell me what's on top of here, John.
Shredded pork, along with any good nachos. You got to have jalapenos, tomatoes, good chips. We fry our own chips here.
That's good to know. So there comes out crispy, ready to go.
Yep.
And I tell you, this is like a meal in itself. You can share this with 3 or 4 people, probably.
Yeah, you can,
Yep,
definitely.
it's got sweet barbecue sauce.
I love that. And you can get different barbecue sauces,
Yes.
right, Stephanie?
Yes.
You got a choice
Yes,
here?
we have original, we have sweet, we have bourbon, and we have hot.
And of course, everyone loves your fried chicken here. I mean, it is always crispy, delicious, still moist on the inside. I mean, you can tell. I mean, it has that crunch. I can sit 2 tables away, and I know they've got the chicken over there because I hear this crunch, and I'm going, oh, I think I want the chicken too. We got to talk about the barbecue.
The ribs are a Memphis style.
They have great chew, great flavor,
They haven't had much any better anywhere else.
and great zing to them.
We have our smoker out back that we cook on every day. My partner Todd is my pit master.
We got a Cadillac smoker right now that we use. One side's a 4-foot rotisserie, and the other side's a 4-foot pullout, to where we can also do whole hogs on the one side. We use all hickory on our smoking. On occasions, we'll throw in some cherry on our ribs. We do a dry rub that has 3 seasonings. I can tell you the seasonings are salt, pepper, and chili powder.
Todd came up with a chili recipe that I know that is fun too, because you have a lot of the brisket and the chili.
We did. We took our Check's Cafe signature chili that we have down at Check's Cafe in Germantown, and basically just added our full brisket.
One of my favorites.
And I've got to say that there is some tie-in with Check's in Germantown, that you did bring over some of the more popular items, and of course that means the soup, right? Tell us about the bean soup.
soup.
People love it.
And the fish sandwich.
And the fish sandwich. People go crazy about that. So it's kind of fun that you brought some of those favorites from Germantown over to Middletown, but now this is its own flavor of restaurant. It is blues, so you do have some blues music, right?
We do. We have it on the weekends, Friday and Saturday night, usually starting around 8 o'clock.
Of course, mac and cheese. We got to have that, right?
Oh my gosh,
Oh,
it
you
is-
can't live
it is
without
really
the mac
good,
and
mac
cheese.
and
No,
cheese.
I've had that many times, and it is really good. Save room for dessert, because this.
That's my favorite.
It is?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the bread pudding. So it has a bourbon glaze, and it's a lot of cinnamon, sugar, ooey goodness.
And if you can't get through all of it, you can still take some home,
Take it
right?
home.
So order it anyway, because I'll tell you what, it's delicious. Also, John, I want to talk about your bar program, which is really nice.
Over 80 bourbons right now.
And then, Stephanie, you also are kind of in charge of the wine program here. I know you taste all the wines before you make a selection, so you've got a really good selection of wines, too. I like just coming in and sitting at the bar, having a couple of beverages and maybe some appetizers, and just enjoying it. So
Thanks for coming.
No,
Come on out.
I'll tell you what, it's great. Come on in. If you haven't been to Check's Barbecue and Blues, come in and be family, especially with John and Stephanie. Appreciate you sharing a little secrets with us here at Check's Barbecue and Blues.
That'll do it for this edition of Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs. I'm Tim Laird, and we'll see you next time.